Welcome back, everyone, to the Web Design with WordPress 101 course. Before we continue on to the actual course material, I think it's important to point out a distinction between WordPresscom and WordPress.org. You may have already noticed the two websites if you've done any searching on the web. The difference between the two is this. WordPress.com is a hosted blogging service which is used mostly for creating blogs. WordPress.org provides a download of the WordPress software that has to be manually installed on your own web server or a web host of your choice. Today's class will explore the difference between the two options. Both sites are owned by the same parent company, Automatic, and both sites offer access to the same software, but there are certain advantages to using one over the other. This course will apply mainly to the self-hosted variety of WordPress found at WordPress.org. However, I will briefly point out some of the advantages and disadvantages of each choice. It's also important to note that regardless of which option you choose now, you can transfer your work from the server on WordPress.com to your own private server or vice versa later on down the road if you desire. Let's start by exploring WordPress.com. This option provides free hosting for your website with the WordPress software pre-installed on their servers. It is the easier of the two options and is ideal for bloggers and those with limited technical expertise. You can also sign up for their basic account free of charge. There are several premium options that the site offers that may be of interest to you depending on the type of site you wish to create. Check out the store link on their website to see more information about the services they offer and the costs associated with each service. In addition to its ease of use, WordPress.com also brings the added benefit of having Automatic maintain the servers where your web content will be stored. You'll only be responsible for providing the content of your site, while the maintenance of the web servers and the various software applications needed to keep your site up and running will be handled by Automatic. This does, however, have certain drawbacks. Automatic limits the content that users can post on their website as part of their terms of service. If you don't plan on publishing any obscene or incendiary material, you'll probably be okay with agreeing to their terms. If you do, however, take issue with certain restrictions they place on content, you may want to consider hosting your own web server or utilizing a web host where your content is allowed. Automatic will disable your page if they find you are violating their terms of service, so I recommend reading over their terms of service before setting up your blog. In addition to the content restrictions at WordPress.com, there are also certain limitations on the extent to which you can customize your website. For example, WordPress utilizes website design templates known as themes, which help differentiate your site from others. WordPress.com only allows users to select the themes that they make available to its users. Although there are an abundance of theme choices available on their site, which includes some premium theme choices, you will not be able to import themes from other sources or even create your own themes for use with your website. WordPress.com also doesn't support plugins for your website. A plugin is a small program that you can add to your website that gives the page some new feature that WordPress didn't offer on its own. Think of WordPress.com as your smartphone. It comes with a bunch of apps pre-installed that allow you to take advantage of your phone in a bunch of different ways. But it doesn't come with everything. Enter the App Store, a place where you can find apps that do any number of things that help your phone do something it couldn't do out of the box. A plugin is like an app from the App Store. It brings something new to your website that wasn't originally there when you first started the site. Although WordPress.com provides some basic features similar to the pre-installed apps on your smartphone, there's no App Store for WordPress.com. You are stuck with the features they give you access to through their website. Another consideration is that you will not be able to advertise on your page when using WordPress.com. If you intend to utilize your page to generate some kind of ad revenue, then WordPress.com may not be the appropriate choice for you. Now, the second option involves downloading the WordPress software from the WordPress.org website and installing it on a web host of your choice or your own personal web server. This choice is ideal for most designers and developers since it gives them the autonomy and control to customize their websites to the fullest extent while utilizing the WordPress software. This is also the option that we intend to cover in detail throughout this course. Using your own web server eliminates the issue of content restrictions that you run up against if you were to utilize WordPress.com. Similarly, if you choose to host your site through a web host, you can choose the host that is appropriate for the content you wish to publish. Unlike WordPress.com, this option will allow you to import themes from other sources or even create your own themes for use on your website. It also allows you to utilize various plugins designed to give added functionality to your website that may not have been available on the WordPress.com site. Depending on the hosting solution you choose, you may also be able to collect ad revenue on your website. The software, being open source, is free to download and utilize as you please. However, there may be costs associated with hosting your site or maintaining your own web server that you should consider. We'll explore some web hosting options in the next class in this course, and we'll also explain how to install the standalone WordPress application on a web server later in the course. However, setting up an actual web server is outside the scope of this course. If you are interested in setting up your own web server, a simple Google search should get you the information you need to do so. Let's recap. WordPress.com and WordPress.org are two different but both free software choices that you can utilize to build your own website. WordPress.com is hassle-free for the person who is less tech-savvy, but the site is also fairly limited as far as site customization is concerned. The software found at WordPress.org is a little more involved, but your ability to control the design and development of your site is virtually limitless. If you have the time to sit down and work with the self-hosted option provided at WordPress.org, you will be rewarded for your efforts. Thanks for watching on behalf of E3, and stay tuned for our next class in the series.